Mygia has always regarded Elias as her mother. A person of unintentional nature, yet possessing a heart that is gentle and kind. As her mother stepped out to work, Lena anticipated a sense of emptiness enveloping the house, yet to her surprise, it remained anything but vacant. Elias's visage was a tapestry of trails, woven not by sound, but by the delicate whispers of fragrance. Prior to reaching the age of 22, Lena was immersed in the journey of self-discovery. Though the school day has ended, a sense of dread lingers within her. Her position at a newspaper lacking in standards, coupled with her detached circumstances, had rendered her quite emotional. On a quiet evening, she found herself in the living room, her head cradled in her hands. "Are you all right?" Hannah's voice flowed effortlessly, yet resonated with strength. She positioned herself beside the window. 2 cups of coffee, one in each hand. Maya attempts to muster a smile. Merely sorrowful. Elias settled beside her, gently placing a steaming cup of coffee on the table before them. Today, she was uncomplicated, he murmured softly. Should she feel the urge to speak, his laid-back nature has been eclipsed by her trepidation. "I felt as though I was being pursued," she remarked, "as if I were sprinting sideways, uncertain of where my path would lead me." Elias chuckled at the notion. "I was there," he remarked. "Upon embracing her identity, I left my job, believing I sought a new path. In truth, I find myself grappling with the fear that I am prepared to embrace my current circumstances." Maya chuckled within the confines of her mind. "I'm not certain about that." A smile crept across his face at the very thought. It was her mother who dominated the conversation, always the one to speak up. In the weeks that followed, Maya found herself navigating the significance of Elias's presence in her life. In the gentle embrace of early evenings, they would gather, laughter dancing between them as they reminisced about cherished memories or delved into discussions of their beloved books. She was taken aback by the significance of Elias's information. He appeared to grasp her concerns, not through solutions or the promise of safety. On a challenging night, Maya found herself in the room, her gaze unexpectedly drifting toward the barren space around her. "Pizza?" Elias inquired, materializing next to her. "That sounds absolutely ideal." As they lingered in anticipation of their departure, Maya settled at the table while Elias, with a serene demeanor, navigated the ship towards a designated film channel. The tempest has subsided, and the vigor has ebbed away. As the ship lay still upon the water, a radiant smile graced Maya's face. Close by, Elias wore a smile. "Perhaps I ought to allow a touch of light to seep in, if possible." Her lips curled into a smile. "She is perpetually prepared." With a smile, Elias spoke. "That's one of the qualities I admire in her." His speech extended beyond what was anticipated. Maya sensed a flutter in her heart. She seized it. As she settled into her slumber, her mind drifted back to that fleeting moment. Elias possessed a certain tranquility, a quiet attentiveness that allowed her to blossom into a version of herself she had never known existed. In the days that followed, those emotions began to take shape. She envisions herself coming to profound realizations. His eyes radiate beauty when he smiles. The manner in which he recalls her cherished meal. His habitual glance at her car's gas gauge before she heads off to work. Wonder and amazement. Maya endeavored to release those emotions. Yet, with each attempt, her heart found its way back to those cherished moments. Serene moments, silent reactions that envelop her in a sense of safety, visibility, and affection. One morning, as they embarked on a quest for weapons together, Maya discovered her in pursuit of Elias's weapon. Watching her weapon being prepared for action. Witnessing her weapon ascend gracefully, as though it held great significance. At that moment, Elias remarked that she was in search of her weapon. Today, she exuded a serene composure. Maya is striving, her heart in pursuit of her weapon. What thoughts occupy my mind? She exuded a serene composure. It is merely the essence of existence. Elias maintained his composure and sensed a deeper beauty unfolding around him. If she needs to talk, he says with a casual air, I have arrived. His words lingered in her heart long after she had settled down to sleep this evening. Maya understood that her emotions were complex, a tangled web that she could not easily unravel. Yet, what terrifies her most is the thought of halting it on the ground. Maya found herself unable to escape the tumultuous thoughts that resided within her heart. Each moment she shared with Elias felt as though it stretched beyond its natural confines. She discovered herself searching for him, stretched out in the room, wishing for just a bit more time if he had been present, posing inquiries she felt no obligation to respond to in order to maintain the dialogue. Elias, with his characteristic composure, remained oblivious. Or perhaps he was aware, yet took great care to conceal it. He envisions with serene clarity, possessing an innate sense of timing in both speech and silence. One morning, Maya entered the living room to discover Elias peacefully slumbering on the couch. A tome rested upon his brow. His weapon remains poised upon his visage. She offered a soft smile at the chance to cleanse his hands of the burdens of his heart. In that serene moment, she fully grasped the depth of joy and love he had infused into her life. Yet, happiness had transformed into an elusive force beyond her grasp. One morning, Elias discovered her seated on the train, immersed in her own reflections. It was a challenging day. He requested to take a seat next to her. Maya chuckled. I believe I just sensed that I was being pursued once more. Elias hurriedly retraced his steps to the train. He claimed that she had pursued him onto the train on numerous occasions. At times, she simply must pause. Maya mentioned that she feels no need to exert control over everything at this moment. His spokesperson maintained a composed demeanor, advising to approach it one step at a time. She glanced over her shoulder at him, and in that fleeting instant, the world felt transformed. The distance that separated them felt diminished, as though an invisible power was drawing her nearer. Express gratitude for her presence. She declared, once, I shall always remain here. He responded with an air of indifference. His words carried a weight that felt disproportionate. Maya senses the silent undercurrent that lies between them. A truth that remains unchallenged, shrouded in the shadows of fear. The essence of existence reveals itself as unremarkable. A fleeting instance of challenge lingered in the air, casting a shadow around the room. An unspoken stillness that left everyone at a loss for words. Maya began to steer clear of those instances, fearful of their potential judgments. On a night like no other, a wind swept through, urging the door open with a whispering force. The state of health declined before it ultimately collapsed. Elias arranged a few lamps to adorn the coffee table. A hush enveloped the room. Maya discovered that she lingered on him far longer than was prudent. Is everything all right with you? He inquired as he became aware of the stillness. I am well. His words flow with remarkable speed. Yet he does not. The sensation he had been battling had transformed into an unstoppable force. As Elias took a seat beside him, it felt as though the tides of opportunity had subtly changed. The stillness had grown overwhelming. I find myself at a loss regarding his current state. Elias spoke with caution. However, if there is an issue, then it cannot be that. Maya departed. Her once silent voice had transformed. Elias's gaze had grown tender. Share your thoughts with me. Maya collided with her. I find myself at a loss. He approached with a tender grace, softly resting his hand upon hers. His touch caught her off guard. Yet, she chose not to drive him away. Moreover, she cast her gaze upon their hands. His gaze lingered on her, as though it were destined to rest there. It is clear that challenges have arisen. Elias cautioned to exercise care. Yet, she engages in extensive conversation with me. His words transformed into an inviting threshold. A threshold she hesitated to cross. She mentioned that she engaged in extensive conversation with me. The following day, she discovered him entering the room with a small bag in hand. "Are you departing from this place?" she uttered. Elias remarked, "I believe it would be wise to allow him some time. A change has occurred. I wish to keep things light and unburdened."
Trái tim tôi đập rộn ràng, như thể đang hòa nhịp với một bản nhạc đầy cảm xúc.
"You need not take your leave. I believe it's time for me to depart." His voice resonated with a tranquil strength. She advanced with measured grace. Her voice carried a breathy quality. To my astonishment, I find myself at a loss on how to navigate that situation. Elias set his bag aside. Was there anything that caught you off guard? We can discuss it further. Her eyes brim with tears. I find myself at a loss when it comes to solving that. In his presence, a profound sense of safety envelopes me. I sense a shift within myself. Elias's words carried a powerful weight. Yet, within his gaze, there lay an undeniable certainty. I'm aware that it's challenging. Her words tumbled forth in a rapid cadence. Yet, I find myself unable to halt it any longer. Elias inhaled deeply. "Return to your abode. A touch. Your well-being matters to me.
Beyond what you might comprehend."
He uttered his words in a rapid succession. However, this is not a matter to be hurried. At this moment, I am not seeking anything.
Mais remarqued.
I want you to understand the depths of my emotions. Elias's gaze was consumed by her essence. In a fleeting instant, extended. Prior to stowing his bag away. This location remains a promising concept. His words flow effortlessly. My senses the rhythm of her heart. Is there a chance she will return? I shall return. He made a vow. I simply require a moment to reflect. As he stepped through the threshold, I sensed the silence envelop her, halting time in its embrace. At long last, after a week of silence, she found the courage to speak her truth. Yet, an overwhelming sense of disappointment washed over her, deeper than she had ever experienced before. Weeks had slipped away, transforming the days into a blur. The silence hung heavily in the air, an unsettling presence. I lingered in anticipation, hoping for his call or a message to break the silence. Yet the days have drifted by in silence. She immersed herself in her work. Yet her thoughts continued to pursue him, seeking to unravel the mysteries of his mind. If he feels remorse, then leave. One morning, as she sifted through a mound of dusty old books, I stumbled upon a volume that he had once perused, carelessly abandoned amidst the clutter. She gazed at it intently for what felt like an eternity. Recall those moments when he consistently included it in the conversation. It may seem modest, merely a collection of books. Yet, upon seeing it, she recalled that he had woven himself into the fabric of her existence. I can no longer bear to leave it behind. With a swift motion, she grasped her phone and composed a message. Your absence lingers in my thoughts. I implore you to return home. The day has slipped away, leaving no response in its wake. The dawn has arrived, marking the beginning of a new day. Yet, there remains an absence of change. Mai has perceived it with unmistakable clarity. The end has come. She obliterated all that was, her words flowing from the depths of her soul. Yet, as dawn broke and she readied herself for another serene morning, a dream lingered at the threshold. As she swung the door open, there stood Elias, waiting on the threshold. His visage bore the weight of fatigue, yet his eyes shimmered with a gentle warmth. I find myself uncertain about the prospect of returning. He uttered a wordless command. I am truly pleased that you took that action. Mai responded, her voice trembling with uncontainable emotion. He crossed the threshold. He set his bag down beneath the door. For an extended period, he remained silent. I require time to master all aspects, Elias remarked. Ultimately, I find myself questioning whether the influence I had was truly justified. Mai has lost the memory of fatigue. At this moment, Elias draws in a breath. All the answers elude me. He made his announcement, yet I find myself missing her as well. Greater than my own efforts. Mai senses the weariness in her younger sister. What implications does that carry? It implies that I cannot assure you of its authenticity, Elias remarked. However, I am acutely aware of the need for caution. I do not seek something hasty, Maya remarked with a casual ease. I simply cannot bear the thought of losing you. You shall not. Elias made a vow. However, we must simplify this process. Maya smiled, grasping the essence of his words. The emotions they convey are far from simple. The path that lies before us will be fraught with challenges. Yet, witnessing him there, making the decision to return in the face of the unknown, filled her with hope. In the week that followed, a serene tranquility enveloped them. Sharing a meal, strolling through the surroundings, and the dialogue carried a deeper resonance. Elias's emotions remain her objective. In that moment, Maya found solace in the comforting presence of his return to her life. One morning, as they lingered on the front porch, basking in the glow of the sunrise, Elias caught her eye and gently clasped her hand. His hand extended toward her, weary yet resolute. I'm uncertain about the destination of this journey. He claimed it was calm, yet I am eager to discover the truth of his words. Maya smiled, her hands poised around him. I exist. For the first time in ages, a sense of harmony enveloped them, not due to any newfound clarity, but because they were prepared to confront one another.